Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapatakamelam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Rughunatham Tam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadudam Parjana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishakam Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpadarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patidanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lange Degirim Yat Kripatam Hammande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram Yonda Pravishimamamachum Imam Prasuktam Sanjeeva Yati Akhila Shakti Dharaswadamnam Anyam Cha Hasta Charanat Sravanatvagadin Pranam Namo Bhagavate Rushaya Tubhyam Jayadam Surdo Pangorma Mamandamadirgadi Masarvasya Padambujo Radha Madana Mohano Tamadidevam Karunanidhanam Tamalavarnam Suhidavataram Apara Samsara Samudra Sedam Bhajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam Paramananda Pathaya Premavarshi Aksharaya De Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Sri Krishnaya Namostume Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Dad Bhaktaya Namo Namo Hare Krishna Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, text 9. So we are discussing about the different incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Okay. Now this text, the incarnation of Narayana Rishi. Okay. So we'll read it. Turye Dharmakala Sarge Naranarayana Rishi Bhutvatmopasamopetam Akaroddushcharam Tabaha Turye Dharmakala Sarge Naranarayana Rishi Bhutvamopasamotpedam Akaroddushcharam Tabaha. Hare Krishna. Okay. Trivani Mataji, can you please recite this?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Turye Dharma Kala Sarjay Nara Narayonastavam Bhuva Bhuva
Bhutvatmopasamopetum
Bhuvatva Matave Votapasam
Akarod
Akrut
Duschcharam
Akrut Dushcharam Tapaha.
Very good. Okay. And translation, Vivek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In the fourth incarnation, the Lord became Nara and Narayana, the twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. Thus he undertook severe and extraordinary penances to control the senses.
Yeah, very good. So in the fourth incarnation, the Lord became Nara and Narayana. Anyone remember which are the first three incarnations?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Sorry, Prabhuji. What was the question?
Which are the first three incarnations?
Kshirodikya Vishnu,
No.
Garbhodikya Vishnu.
No.
That is no.
Now we
Achha.
have read
Oh,
in
sorry.
the earlier verses. First, Chatush Kumara. Second, Narada Rishi. Okay. Third, no, second is Varaha. Third is Narada Rishi. Okay. Then now the fourth, Narayana. Okay. So how many incarnations
10.
are given in this?
Yeah.
How many total? Any idea?
Lot of
there
incarnations.
There
is
are so
many
many
actually.
incarnations, but in this chapter, in Srimad Bhagavatam, how many incarnations
10
are
incarnations.
given? No. Any idea? Anybody? Any guess? Uma, how many incarnations, especially in this chapter, they are given the list of incarnation. The main, there are millions of incarnations, we don't know. But in this Bhagavatam, they have given 22 incarnations. Okay, 22 important incarnations. There are many incarnations. So first, what? Sanat Kumara, Chatush Kumara, then Varaha. Okay, third, Narada.
Narada.
This is fourth, Naranarayana. Okay, so Turya Dharma Kala Sarge Naranarayana Rishi Bhutvatmo Pasamopedam Akarot Duschcharam Tabaha. In the fourth incarnation, the Lord became Nara and Narayana. Nara is Arjuna, Narayana is Lord. Okay, Nara Narayana. They are combined incarnation. The twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. They are the twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. There are why the wife of King, maybe not the sons of Dharma, the wife of maybe the earlier husbands. Could be. I'm just speculating, I don't know. Otherwise, they would have mentioned the sons of King Dharma. Okay. So here it is mentioned the twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. So thus, maybe the father is different. Thus, he undertook severe and exemplary penances to control the senses. Maybe in the purport, let's see if there is any mention about that. As King Rishabha advised his sons, who is Rishabhadev? Any idea? King Rishabha. He had 100 sons. King Rishabha. The foremost is King Bharata, who later became a deer, who later became a Jadabharata. Okay. So Rishabha Dev is also an incarnation. Actually, incarnation of the Lord. So as King Rishabha advised his sons tapasya or voluntary acceptance of penance for realization of the transcendent, he is the only duty of the human being. It was so done by the Lord himself in an exemplary manner to teach us. So what is the meaning of austerity? Tapasya? What is the meaning of tapasya or austerity? Why we are taking austerity?
To pure say ourselves and
To purify ourselves, yes. To purify ourselves. Right. So we are taking austerity. What is that austerity? What is the definition of austerity?
When willingly we want to give we want to give any pain or not pain
Accepting
penance
voluntary,
to our body.
yeah, accepting some voluntary inconvenience for a higher cause. Okay, children, those who are going to schools and colleges. Okay, now I can ask Uma, is it not an austerity to get up early in the morning at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock and study a lot It's not very comfortable, isn't it? We don't want to, but we are taking this austerity for higher cause because we get a degree. When we get a degree, we get a good job. When we get a good job, we'll get good money. We can have a comfortable life. So we have to take some austerity. Without austerity, no pain, no gain. Isn't it? So that austerity, tapasya, is required for what? That's why it is a tapasya or voluntary acceptance of penance. Okay? Penance. For realization of the transcendence. So we have to take some voluntary acceptance of inconvenience to realize, for self-realization, to understand the transcendence. And that is the only duty of the human being. That is what Naranarayan Rishi is teaching us. King Rishabha is teaching his sons. 100 sons, of whom the foremost is King Bharata. Okay, he left all his kingdom, all his prajas, all his comfort, his opulences, his family, to go to forest and meditate on the Supreme Lord. Why? For a higher purpose. So relinquishing all the sense gratificatory activities, he left the forest. That's what King Rishabha advised his son Sabasya, or voluntary acceptance of penance for realization of the transcendence is the only duty of the human being. So why this is very emphatically given here, only duty of human being. The duty of the human being is self-realization, not sense gratification. But unfortunately, we are after sense gratification, not self-realization. Self-realization is the goal of the human being. It is not the goal of the animals. They cannot inquire. Okay? They cannot set a goal. Oh, this life I will liberate myself from this material existence. I don't want to take birth as animals again. No longer I want. Will they think that way? They will not think that way because they don't have the discriminative power. They don't have the intelligence to understand the purpose of life. Only human beings have the ability or the discriminative power to understand the real goal of life. That's why in the Purana, it is very clearly mentioned that ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanya medat pashubi naranam dharmo hi tesham adhigo vishesho dharmena hina pashubi samanam. So if you are reading these 4 activities, if we are doing these 4 activities, which are the 4 activities? Human being, ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. Okay, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. If you are doing the same activities which the animals are also doing, if we are doing the same activities as the animal, then what is the difference between, what is the distinction between us and the animals? There is no distinction. They are walking on 4 legs, we are walking on 2 legs. We are putting pants and shirt, they are not wearing anything. That's the only difference. But here it says, dharmo hi tesham adhigo vishesho. So what is the speciality of the human being? Dharma. They know dharma. Who am I? Who is God? What is the relationship between me and God? Why I am suffering? Why others are not suffering? Okay, who is Ishvara? What is Prakriti? What is Kala? What is Karma? All these things we can inquire. The animals cannot inquire. Animals will not call for a meeting. Okay, let's call for a meeting. We'll discuss Bhagavad Gita tomorrow. Will the animals say that? They don't know. They don't know dharma. What is dharma? There is a set path. They will go by that. That is set by the nature's law of nature. But we are also supposed to follow the nature law of nature, but unfortunately we don't. We go against the law of nature. We are higher beings than the animals. We have a special reasoning power, intelligence, discriminative power, by which we can understand the purpose of life. which other living beings cannot. So that is why it is said, Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. Adhika means special. Vishesha means special, what do you call, activities or special mercy of the Lord that we can learn, we can inquire. That's why in the Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra, the first aphorism itself is said, Athatho Brahma Jitnyasa. Okay, Brahma Jitnyasa. Okay, what is Brahma Jitnyasa? Self-realization, to know who am I, to know who is God, to know about my existence. Now I can inquire. In the animal form, I was not able to inquire. Now that I've got the human form of life, I can inquire, who am I? When Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a question, very basic question. People say that we are all scholars, philosophers. Okay, but I don't know a basic answer for a basic question, who am I? Please explain. Such a scholarly persons. So the basic question that we should ask, who am I? Am I this body or something else? So this can be asked only by human being, not by animals, not by any other species. So that's why the only duty of the human being is self-realization. It was so done by the Lord himself, who Rishabhadeva, he himself exhibited by his own personal example. What for? It is not necessary for him, but to teach us. The Lord is very kind to the forgetful souls. We have forgotten our real position, our real constitutional position, who we are, what's our duty, we have forgotten. So this is to teach us. He is living by his own examples. So he therefore comes himself and leaves behind necessary instructions and also sends his good sons as representatives to call all the conditioned souls back to God. What's the purpose? Either he comes directly or he sends his representatives and he live by their own, or they live by their own examples to teach us, to show us how we can go back home, back to God, to our original home. This is the purpose. So all the leelas, all the pastimes enacted by the Supreme Lord and his pure devotees are just to teach us different valuable lessons, values of the different values that we should imbibe as human beings, so that we can fulfill the goal of our human life. Because this life, Durlabham Manusham Janma, this is very, very rare. It's not possible for everybody to get this human life. So having got this human life, it is our prime duty. It's not just duty, prime duty to practice this. That's why different leelas are taking place, or Supreme Lord and his pure devotees are performing different leelas to teach us. It is not necessary for Arjuna to ask all these questions to Supreme Lord. He is self-realized. He knows everything. But the Supreme Lord himself covers his knowledge by putting the Yogamaya curtain so that he will ask relevant questions on our behalf for our benefit. So Lord Chaitanya also appeared for the same purpose. Within the memory of everyone, Lord Chaitanya also appeared for the same purpose, to show special favor to fallen souls of this age of iron industry. Why iron industry? So this is a iron age, Kali Yuga. It is industrialization, factorization, factories, okay, modernization. We are giving importance for that. We are going against the laws of nature, exploiting the nature for our material comfort. Actually, the more we are advancing material scientific way or technologically, we are going backward. We are going far from the supreme reality, supreme Lord. We may have temporary some comfort and conveniences for sure, but we are going away from the supreme Lord because of the so-called modernization of this, the industrial revolution and all. So that's why Prabhupada has put this in this age of iron industry. Instead of opening more temples, more factories are coming up. More factories are coming. More slaughterhouses are coming up. Why? What is the difference between opening up temples and opening slaughterhouses and factories? Which is benefiting us? Temples. Why? Temple is a place where our mind can be cured. Mind can be treated. Hospital is a place where our physical body is treated. But if you want to treat our mind, intelligence, false ego, and give food to our soul, we need to go to the temple, where our mind can be treated, can be purified. When our mind is purified, our existence can be purified. But if we are, instead of that, we are only trying to treat our body, that's not enough. That is temporary, that gets destroyed after a period of time. But the mind, intelligence, and ego, the Atma, will go to another body. So Lord Chaitanya also appeared for the same purpose, to show special favor to the fallen souls of this age of iron industry. The incarnation of Narayana is worshipped still at Badri Narayana, Badri Narayana, on the range of the Himalayas. So we know that it's in Badri, Naranarayana Rishis took the avatara. Okay, Hare Krishna. So any questions or any comments?
So, Prabhuji, Narayana, you are saying Arjuna and Sri Krishna.
Yeah, that's the intention. Nara is human being, living entity. Narayana is Supreme Lord. They are the twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. That's what is mentioned here. So especially why it is mentioned. So could be my assumption is that maybe it's not King Dharma's sons, but the wife of King Dharma. Maybe the earlier husband or something. Because Kshatriyas, in those times, sometimes, after fighting, the king died, so they take the whole Samraj along with their paraphernalia, everything. So could be like something like that. I don't know exactly.
Prabhuji, who is King Dharma?
What is that?
Wife of King Dharma. Who is Prabhuji King Dharma?
King Dharma was a king of that time. I don't know which yuga. So anyway, it is mentioned in Narayana, the twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. One of the kings of earlier time, ancient time. I don't know who they are.
Twins also.
King Rishabha here, from him comes the Jain religion. Jain religion. He is the father of Jain religion. The recent Acharya for Jain is Mahavir. So Mahavir follows King Rishabha because King Rishabha exhibited certain activities which normal people cannot imitate. So these people started imitating that instead of following the instruction. So that's why it is not the right path. This is also offshoot of our Sanatana Dharma, because King Rishabha is also incarnation of the Supreme Lord. But then he was doing so, very, very very, very severe austerities, which cannot be imitated by us. So they started imitating. That's why, there are some of the Jains, there are mainly two categories of Jains. One, they don't wear any clothes. Digambara, they say. Digambaras, two types of Digambaras. So that one category, they don't wear clothes at all. You must have seen the Jain people, some of them. They are very austere, which generally, especially in this age of hell, is not possible to follow. So that's a little deviated path, but it's offshoot of Sanatana.
Prabhuji, this Nara avatar is Shakti avatar or like?
I'm not very sure.
So,
I don't know which category they fall into. Lord himself is coming as Narayana, so it cannot be Shakti Avesha, expansion.
okay.
Narayana is definitely Vishnu. Nara is Jiva Tattva, Arjun. So expansion Vishnu Tattva. I don't think it's Shakti Avesha. Could be. I'm not very sure which category they fall into.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I was just trying to search about this King Dharma. So it's like ultimately somewhere it was mentioned that in the Bhagavad Purana, King Dharma is personified as Dharmaraj or Dharma, who present the embodiment of righteousness, moral law.
That means Dharmaraj. Yamaraj.
Yeah.
So it's clear. Yes, that means Dharmaraj or Yamaraj. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is expansion of Dharma. So same Dharma, not another Dharma. I thought some other king by name Dharma. So that is Dharmaraj.
Correct.
One of the 12 Mahajanas, who is the superintendent of the hellish planets, who awards punishment to the sinful people. Yamaraj or Dharmaraj. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. So text 10. Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Vipludam Provacha Suryaye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam. Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Vipludam Pravocha Suryaye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam. Okay, Kapil Prabhu and Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maji.
Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Viplutam Provacha Suraye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam.
Haribol. Translation.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
The fifth incarnation named Lord Kapila is foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahmana, for in course of time this knowledge had been lost.
Haribol. So the fifth incarnation named Lord Kapila is foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahmana, for in course of time this knowledge had been lost. So Kapila Dev is the son of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. He has given the knowledge of Sankhya philosophy, analytical study. Okay, there are 24 elements mainly. So what are those 24 elements? So it's an analytical study. That's why it's called Sankhya philosophy. So that is propounded by Kapila Muni, who is the son, is Avadara, again, son of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. Okay. So Devahuti, Akuti, Prasuti, Uttanapada, and what is that? Priyavarta. They are the 5 children of Om. They are the 5 children of whom? Manu. Okay, Manu. So he has, he gave an exposition of the creative elements. What is the creative elements? 24 elements. What are the 24 elements? 5 gross elements, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Okay, so how much it is? 15, right? Then 5 sense objects, 20. Then comes the 3 modes of material nature, 23. Okay, then comes 24th, the time element. Then comes, that is the 24. Then above that is soul, and above that is super soul. So a detailed study of these 24 elements is given. So whatever we are seeing in this material world, basically, these 24 elements. You take anything. So mainly all the 5 gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, Panchabhuta, Pancha Mahabhuta. Okay, Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, come. All the material nature is covered. And with all the living entities, they have all mainly 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 sense objects, 5 working senses, then the 3 modes of material nature, then the time kala. These are the main elements. So a study of that is called analytical study or Sankhya Yoga. So that is what is given by the Supreme Lord Kapila in his incarnation. The sum total of the creative elements is 24 in all. Sum total, mainly. Each and every one of them is explicitly explained in the system of Sankhya philosophy. Kapila has given this information, this knowledge, imparted this knowledge to his mother, Devahuti. So through Devahuti, we are getting this information. Sankhya philosophy is generally called metaphysics. What is metaphysics? What is metaphysics? See, what is physically we can observe. Beyond that, metaphysics means beyond our conception, beyond what can be perceived by our senses. That is metaphysics. So this is generally called metaphysics by the European scholars, which cannot be perceived by our blunt material senses. Now, mind, ego, intelligence, these are not gross, but it is there. Except they accept it also. The scientists, the European scholars and scientists, they accept. Mind is there, intelligence is there. But if you ask them to point out where is the intelligence, where it is located, where is the mind located, where is the ego located, will they be able to locate? No. Where is the soul located? They cannot. So this is beyond our perception. So such subject matter is categorized as metaphysics. So generally called metaphysics by the European scholars. The etymological meaning of Sankhya is that which explained very lucidly by analysis of material elements. So by analytically studying the material elements, they are explaining the Sankhya philosophy, Lord Kapila. But one has to see now science. What is material science? What is the definition of material science? Material science is basically observation, hypothesis, experiment, inference. This is material science, isn't it? Then only they will know. So first is observation. They are observing. Who is that? The gravity, Einstein. He saw the apple falling down. So the
Newton.
Newton, whoever it is. Okay, it's falling down, the gravity. Okay, so he thought, why it is falling? Why it's not going up? So he's observing that. Then hypothesis. Oh, so this is because something is attracting. So the law of gravity, whatever it is, accordingly, then he is experimenting. No, only apple or something else also. So experimenting. Then he comes to inference or conclusion. So this is basically material science. But with this experiment, with this hypothesis, we cannot study or we cannot come into any conclusion about the subtle matters like mind, intelligence, ego, soul. This cannot be analytically studied. The gross matter, gross elements can be analytically studied. So these 24 elements are actually, in a way, it's all material. Now, can you tell me, is it mind material? Is intelligence material? Is ego material? What is your opinion?
No, Prabhuji.
We cannot see. Now, if I ask you, can you touch and show me the mind? Is it material? It is not gross. Okay. Bhumirapo analo vayu kam mano buddhir evacha ahankara itiyamme binna prakriti ashada. These are my separated energies, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. These 8 elements, out of which 5 are gross, 3 are subtle. The first 5, Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam. Man, Buddhi, Ahangar, these are subtle. So these 3 subtle elements, we cannot, we can experience, we can feel, but we cannot show. Scientists cannot study that. And that's any hospital, whatever hospital it is, they can treat our material body, physical body. But treating mind, intelligence, and ego, it's not their cup of tea. For that, we have to go to mandir, where it can be treated through our scriptures. So this is what Sankhya philosophy taught by Lord Kapila. There is another Kapila, we have to be very careful. He's not Avatara, he's an atheist Kapila. He is also describing about these 24 elements without touching to dharma or religion or spirituality. This is an atheist Kapila. So many times people refer to that Kapila also. So Prabhupada wants that also, that we should not mistake this Kapila to be that Kapila, because this is Avatara. He is an incarnation of Supreme Lord. But other Kapila is an atheist. He also explains these 24 elements from a material point of view. So Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by analysis of material elements. This was done by the first time by Lord Kapila, who is said herein to be the 5th in the line of incarnations. Okay, I think this Kapila, it is in the 3rd canto, I think. Kapila is instructing Devudi in the 3rd canto. And I'll take a study about the 24 elements. So any questions or comments?
So Prabhuji, here it is told that this was being told to Ashuri Brahmana.
Yeah.
He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Ashuri Brahmana. Why he has given them?
I don't know who is Ashuri Brahmana. I have to check, Prabhuji. But actually,
Okay.
this Kapila, this thing, what do you call it? Nirdesham or this knowledge is imparted to Devudi, his own mother. But this Asuri Brahmana, I have to check who is that and all. I don't know exactly. I have to check that.
No problem.
Okay. But again, in course of time, this knowledge is also lost. So in course of time, everything diminishes, everything gets deteriorated and will get lost. That's what Krishna says to Arjuna, no? What is that? Evam parampara praptam vimam rajeshrayu vidu sa kalaneha mahada yogo nashta parantapa. This knowledge is coming in unbroken chain of discipline succession. But in due course of time, it has got lost. So I am telling you, retelling you the same knowledge. So you are the most fortunate one to get this knowledge again. Arjuna. So text 11.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna
Yeah,
Prabhu.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just searching for this Asuri Brahmana. So what it mentioned that it is he is disciple of Kapila. Asuri Brahmana is traditionally regarded as one of the main disciple of sage Kapila, who is credited with this founding the Sankhya philosophy. So basically, maybe sir, one of his disciples.
One of his disciples. That's all.
Yeah,
But
correct.
mainly the knowledge was imparted to mother. Mother is
Yeah.
asking her mother, his mother, that is Devudi.
Yeah, correct. Prabhu.
Yes.
So one of his disciples.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir. But you, Prabhuji, you told one thing, this Kapila and that another Kapila.
Yeah, there
is
are two Kapilas, so we should not mistake. There is an atheist Kapila who also gives Sankhya philosophy, this 24 material man, without touching spirituality. He's an atheist.
Because we have one Kapil Muni ashram in Bengal.
Kapila Muni, when we mention Kapila Muni, we are mentioning this Kapila Muni, the incarnation Kapila Muni, not the atheist Kapila. So in order not to confuse, Prabhupada is warning us, not in this purport, some other purports. I think it is in the third canto, where the details of this Kapila's instruction to Mother Devudi, in that purport he mentions that there is another Kapila, is an atheist Kapila, is mentioned.
Prabhuji, you are keep mentioning 5 elements, this earth, water, fire, air, ether.
Yeah.
But word you are using what? Bhumi, then what?
Bhumi,
words you-
Apo, Analo, Vayu, come.
Apo means water?
Yes.
Okay, Bhumi, Apo, then what?
Anal. Analo means fire.
Analo means fire. Analo, huh? Agni, right? Okay.
Agni. Yeah.
Bhumi,
Vayu,
Apo,
Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, air.
and last.
Come means ether. Come.
Okay, Prabhuji.
That is
Okay.
ether or sky.
Space or space, yeah.
Space. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji.
Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, come mano buddhirevacha, ahankara idiyamme, bhinna prakriti ashtada. Ashta means 8. These are all my separated energies, Lord Krishna says. My separated, that means separated energy means bhinna prakriti, that's bhinna prakriti. That is only in the material world. We have to understand that. It is not there in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, you will not find these gross elements or subtle elements. There only spirit, Chaitana, Satchit Ananda. That's why I said, and I asked you, mind, intelligence, falsehood, is it matter or spiritual? You didn't reply. Is it material or spiritual?
Not spiritual, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji?
Looks like not spiritual, because as long as we will be here in this world, or up to.
No, it is also material. As Prabhuji rightly said,
Yeah, material.
It's also material.
Because when we go back to Godhead,
Yeah, we don't have material, we don't have mind, intelligence. Everything is spirit. A spirit means Satchit Ananda, full of knowledge, full of eternity, and full of bliss. There is no separate mind, separate intelligence. The body of Brahma is made of what? Forget about the spiritual world. The body of Brahma is made of what? Any idea? Can you guess? Any guess? Our body is made up of mainly 5 material elements. Panjabhuta, Bhumi, Apo, Anaro, Vayu, Kam. what is the body of Brahma? See, as you go above, okay, as we go up higher in the creation, it becomes subtler. Ours is gross. The body of Brahma is made of intelligence. Can we understand this? Can we conceive this? How can the body of one person be intelligent? His body is made of intelligence. So many questions will arise. I know it, but then that is what our scripture says.
It's very difficult to apprehend.
We have to accept because we are thinking from our dimension. Isn't it? There are different dimensions which we cannot perceive. So as you go higher, the demigods, they can see us because they are higher beings. We cannot see them. See, now for example, I'll give a simple example. When the Yamadutas comes to take a sinful soul from his body, can we see? The person dying can see. The person dying can see. And animals can see. Have you heard of this? When somebody is on deathbed, okay, they are leaving the body, they are very sinful. So who comes? Not Vishnu Duda, but the Yamaduta. And the Yamaduta comes, with twisted face and with brown color hair, so bhayanak, so fearful. So that's why you see when some people leave the body, they pass stool and urine because of fear. Seeing them. Many people, what is that? Some people have experienced this near-death experience. You ask them. Many scientists, many doctors, when they interviewed, they have clearly mentioned we have seen such personalities with twisted face and brown hair and teeth, uneven teeth structure. So very, very fearful structure. Near-death experience, some people. And you must have observed at that time the dogs barks, the owl and other living creatures make some unpleasant sounds, bad omen will come. They can see. Bat. They can see. Means they are subtle in their form. So we cannot see subtle. Now in this atmosphere, there are so many bacteria. Can we see? Doesn't mean that there are no living beings. But with yeah.
One time, no, I remember this Kishori Mahadaji from Bombay. She Bhaktivedanta Hospital. One devotee, experiences death, but he recovered that time, and he saw Jagannath. He had the experience.
Devotees will experience such this thing, because to devotees the Yamadutas doesn't come. So much of experience are there. So like that. So subtle we will not be able to see. So they are all subtler. So Lord Brahma's, it is said in the scriptures that Lord Brahma's body is made up of intelligence. Intelligence is subtle. Mind is subtle. Okay. How can we see that? But it is there. They can see us. Some animals have the power to see such living beings like Yamadutas and all. They have that perception. We have the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. They too have. But which is more powerful? For us, the ear is more powerful. For dog, smelling, that is more powerful. Isn't it? So different animals, different senses are more powerful. So they can see certain things which we cannot see. Okay. So text 11 we should take. There is time. Yeah, one more we can take. Shashtam atrer apatyatvam vrita prapto nasuyaya anvikshikim alarkaya praladadibhya uchivan. Okay, who can? Uma, can you please recite?
शस्तम् अत्रेरपत्यत्वं वृथा प्राप्तो अनसूयया अन्विषिकिम् अलर्काया प्रह्लादादिभ्य उचिवन्.
And Jiveshri Madaji, translation. You're mute. You're on mute, Madaji.
Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. The sixth incarnation of the Purusha was the son of the sage Adri. He was born from the womb of Anasuya, who prayed for an incarnation. He spoke on the subject of transcendence of Alarka, Prahlada, and others, Edu, Hahya, etc.
So the sixth incarnation of the Purusha was the son of sage Atri, that is Dattatreya. Okay, he was born from the womb of Anasuya. So son of Atri and Anasuya is Dattatreya, who prayed for an incarnation. So they prayed that the Lord should be their son, come as their son. He spoke on the subject of transcendence to Alarka, Prahlada, and others, Yadu, Haihaya, and etc. It's not the same Prahlada, I think, some other. So he spoke to their disciples about the transcendence, about the spiritual subject matters. So Lord incarnated himself as Dattatreya, son of Rishi, Atri, and Anasuya. The history of the birth of Dattatreya as an incarnation of the Lord is mentioned in the Brahmanda Purana in connection with the story of the devoted wife. Okay, Anasuya. Anasuya is very famous, one of chaste ladies, Anasuya. This story also that we will say later. So it is said that Anasuya, the wife of Rishi Atri, prayed before the Lords Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva as follows. That's why they got three sons. Okay. Who are they? Any idea?
Who, Prabhuji?
Atri and Anasuya got three sons. Actually, they prayed that they wanted the Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara as their sons.
Yeah. Correct,
Okay,
correct.
so who are the three sons? One is Dattatreya. Okay, the other two, Durvasa and Soma. I think Soma, yes. So Brahma, Dattatreya is Vishnu, Lord Shiva is Durvasa, Brahma as Soma. So there is a story behind that. Okay, when we went to where exactly we saw that temple, the Anasuya's temple, I think Prayag only, I think. I am not very sure. I think Prayag we saw the temple, Anasuya. Okay, so it is said that Anasuya, the wife of Rishi Atri, prayed before the Lords Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva as follows. My lords, if you are pleased with me, and if you desire me to ask from you some sort of blessings, then I pray that you combine together to become my son. This was accepted by the Lord, and as Attatreya, the Lord expounded the philosophy of the spirit soul and especially instructed Alarka, Prahlada, Yadu, Haihya, and etc. The story is like this. Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Parvati, they wanted to test Anasuya. Okay, because she's a very chaste lady. Okay, very chaste, very famous for the Pativrata Nari. So just to taste what they did, they sent Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara to taste her chastity, how chaste she is, Pativrata. So They went there and yeah, as Brahmanas. Then asked for Bhiksha. Okay. Then they put a condition. Okay, we'll accept the Bhiksha only when you come naked in front of us. You know, they told Anasuya, this Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, in disguise as Brahmanas, went to Anasuya and said, please, Bhiksham Dehi, but we'll accept Bhiksha only in one condition, that you should come in front of us in naked, full naked. Then she said, okay, I'll do that. What she did, which with her mystic power, she made these three Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara as, infants. So in front of infants, the mother can come naked also, there's no problem. So she came naked and gave this. And they are playing on the lap of mother, Anasuya. Then Lakshmi ji, Saraswati and Parvati searching, where are our lords? They are not coming back. What happened to them? They came, then they saw that, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are playing on the lap of Anasuya as small babies. Then they came, then she requested for, we want to have you three as our sons. Then they got Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma. Soma is Chandra. So that is the story. So I pray that you combine together to become my son. So this was accepted by the Lords, and as Dattatreya, the Lord expounded the philosophy of the spirit and spirit soul, and especially instructed Alarka, Prahlada, Yadu, Aihaya, etc. So this is a story. I don't know from where, but this is what I have heard when we went there also.
Yes, Prabhuji, I also heard this story before.
Okay. So Anasuya is one of the 5 chaste ladies, 5 Pativrata Naris. Panchali, Anasuya, Panchali, that is the Draupadi, then Mandodari, then who? Another 2 I don't remember. Anyone remembers?
Hare Krishna.
Just check who are the 5 chaste ladies.
What Prabhuji? 5?
5 chaste ladies.
Okay.
Five Sati Savitri, that is Pativrata. Yeah, Ahalya, Draupadi, Kunti, Tara, and Mandodari, not Anasuya. Ahalya, Draupadi, Kunti, Tara, and Mandodari. That is what is given here. But Anasuya is also there. Okay, let me see 5 Pativratas. Yeah, in some this thing, another this thing, Siddha, Savitri, Arundhati, Anasuya, and Damayanti. Another place it is given. There are so many. So in that Anasuya is also there. Anyway, many. So there are very important because they are very chaste ladies. That's why their name. Mandodari is also there. Who is Mandodari?
Wife of Ravana.
Yeah, Ravana.
Wife of Ravana.
Right.
Okay, so text 12 is next. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhesha, Kripa Sindhubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Ananta Kodi Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Hari Hari Bol.